All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking about controversial stuff involving Ted Nugent, Donald Trump, Jeffrey Epstein, and doing it in somewhat real time for a few real people out there just like you and just like me. All right, so Ted Nugent, pretty good guitar player, right? This guy here, Peter H. Nilsson, also a pretty good guitarist. Probably not on the same level as Ted Nugent, but a completely different style. And you'll need to check this out. This was put out a few years back, and Peter was nice enough to send it to me. And thus, I figured I would give it a shout out. He's got two really fine albums out there. Again, his name is Peter H. Nilsson, Nilsson. And this album is called Sign of Myself. So there you have it. The brain was not firing there on all cylinders. Kind of normal. And yes, I still need your support via Patreon, YouTube memberships. If you want to keep this channel afloat, we're definitely taking on water. So it's the YouTube algorithm sinks another $100 in 24 hours. Means it goes in the opposite direction. And by the way, this is monthly income that I'm losing, like rapidly. All right. If I was making the dollar amount it says I'm making a week, I wouldn't be complaining. But this is a month, and it's starting to get below the poverty line for somebody who needs to just pay a few bills and keep doing this and maybe buy the occasional CD, which I try to showcase here. So it's just, the basics, folks. I'm not looking for a rock star lifestyle. I'm looking to just make ends meet. Now, Uncle Ted Nugent is in the news, and he's been criticized on social media. The headline reads, Ted Nugent breaks his silence on Epstein case and Trump. Epstein and Trump together, right? For you Trumpers out there, I get it. Trump being unfairly targeted by the DOJ. Trump, supposedly there was, I can't say it on YouTube, but there was some issue in 2020 regarding the voting. Again, I'm not going to get into that here. If you want to talk to me about this on Patreon, I have some information that is kind of important, and you can check out my other channel, Politically Homeless, as well, because I've done videos on this. So Ted Nugent breaks his silence, and here's what he says. No one name on the Epstein flight logs has endorsed Trump, but every single one has endorsed Biden. Well, wait a minute. It says here, and this is somebody who is a Trump supporter. He says, wasn't Trump on the logs? He goes, I am a Trump supporter, but at least get this bleep right. Another person claims, Trump was friends with Epstein. Simple Google search is all you need to see that. Stop falling for the red team versus the blue team. Of course, Uncle Ted has a little history, much like Don Henley and a few other people who admit to doing things with people of certain age back in 1978. Yeah. And is that stuff good? No. Referring to the claims about Nugent and his controversial 1981 song called Jailbait, a social media user commented on his stance on the Epstein case. The irony that Ted Nugent, who sang a song about having you know what with a 13-year-old, has admitted to sleeping with certain age groups, would start calling out people for doing exactly the same is rather ironic. So, look, I support Uncle Ted for the most part. He's one of the smarter people in the music industry. I understand what he's saying here. But when you're defending somebody who's on the flight logs and then you had this history yourself, and I don't know, of course, it does appear that Uncle Ted has repented. And maybe Donald Trump has repented as well. So maybe those guys are on a better path. But at one point, neither one of them were on a very good path. Trump's names are on the logs. So, yeah, but Trump didn't do what so and so did, and we don't know. We don't know much of anything. The fact that he chose to hang around with this guy at all, I don't know, folks. I know a lot of people are voting against somebody in this election coming up. They're voting against Biden. They're voting against Trump. They're voting against something. They're not voting for anything, though, really. You know, that's what I've noticed. And again, with what, 330 million people who live in the United States, we couldn't find two guys to go up against one another, or two women, or women in a whatever combination. Trying to be fair here. We couldn't come up with other people to run the country, and we could vote for them and be proud of our vote because we voted for a man or woman of character. A woman of, imagine that, a man or a woman of character. Well, I cast my vote for, this amazing candidate who has lived a decent life, who's tried to do the right thing, who's run a business and hasn't gone bankrupt like multiple times. Yeah, that would be a cool thing to do. But guess what? We're not doing it. It's the status quo. It's the same old, same old. It's a 2020 rerun. Anyway, Uncle Ted, we love you, brother. We love you. You're welcome back on this show at any time you want to. I've reached back out to Ted's crew, and they have not responded. So I must have done something or said something. Look, this might not be the subject that Ted wants to weigh in on. Second Amendment rights, freedom from government overreach, the CBS protocols, absolutely 1,000%. This issue, if you can maybe sprinkle some things in there about how you reject all the stuff that happened before, and you're a new creature in Christ, and that kind of thing will go a long way. It really will. But I think the problem is you're supporting somebody who was on the flight logs, the Jeffrey Epstein flight logs. That's really tough to just ignore. So, all right, before I go, don't ignore this. Peter H. Nilsson, Sign of Myself, decent, quality, meaningful AOR music, all the way from Sweden, like pretty much everything I get these days. Swedish imports. Thanks for watching, folks. Again, Patreon, YouTube memberships. I need your help. We're taking on water. This is not good. If it gets, this is going to go back before I got out of the backyard. If you've been watching the channel, when I was doing videos in the backyard, I was earning a better revenue stream than I'm earning right now. And I've got all of this stuff now. I've got a studio. I've got a microphone. I got things that I didn't used to have. I used to have a phone, and I was doing better with the phone. So do I go back to the phone? Do I say, hey, it's going to be phone videos today. Go out in the backyard and try it? I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. But if you can help me out, Patreon or YouTube memberships, links will be in the description of this video. In the meantime, God bless. Thank you for watching. Please pray for peace in the Middle East, around the world, and in your own heart. And I will see you soon.